Corey asked me to speak, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't expect this large turnout. And when I was back there hearing him speak, I started to think, this is the future of chiropractic. And today I was going to speak about relevance, focus, and responsibility. So for us, what's relevant right now? What would you guys say are the top 3 topics right now, the most relevant in our community or in our nation right now?
The election.
Yeah, the election, right? Yeah, the virus and probably social unrest, right? So I'm going to really touch on 2 right now because what's relevant, right, is really important for us in our clinics, like for our community. So we have to be relevant, right? So what's relevant is the election right now. But here's the thing. If you focus on what you can influence, that will grow. That's the truth. If you can focus on what you can influence, that will grow. If you focus on something you can't and you don't have influence on, there's no growth. So if you focus on the election, when a patient walks into your office, if you focus on the election, you do have influence because you have your vote, and that's powerful. But the reality is you don't have influence on changing them. If you give your opinion, most likely you're just going to polarize yourself, right? You're not going to change people's opinion. So you don't have influence there. But where we do have influence, what's in our power zone, I would like to say, is the spine. Do you guys know that the chiropractic adjustment can boost the immune system 200 to 400%? This is where we got to lean in and dig in when the patients come in. Hey, do you want to boost your immune system? Do you want a strong immune system right now? Ask them. Do you want a strong immune system right now? Because this is the first time that living inside out is better than living outside in. Our nation has been living outside in. Outside in looks like this. I'm healthy, I feel good. Oh, I have a symptom, and then they do what? They reach for a pill, right? They say, I'm missing something from the outside. They're Googling on the internet, asking their friends, what can I take from the outside? This is the first time that people are listening right now. What can I do to live from the inside out, to be as healthy as I can? You got ears right now, so you have to lean in during this time. So when those patients come in, talk about sleep, talk about supplements, talk about reducing stress, reducing sugar, but mainly, what's our focus? What is the only thing that we do best as a profession? That's the spine. So let's talk about that and really dig in and really talk about truth, right? And here's the truth, that we're designed to be healthy. Healthy is normal. Unhealthy is abnormal. The reason I have to say that is most people think allergies, asthma, normal. Anxiety, that's normal. We just got a lot going on. Digestive system, I'm going a couple times a week. Number 2, a couple times a week. Digestive system, that's not normal, guys. Healthy is normal. And this is a principle that when we talk about philosophy, that you have to really, that has to be your foundation, that healthy is normal. 96% of us have the perfect genome from health. 96% of us, right? So a lot of patients come in, they're like, well, cancer runs in my family. Diabetes runs in my family. Obesity runs in my family. That's just, that's what's going on in my life, right? Like diabetes, cancer, all these illnesses run in my family. And I always turn to them and say, the problem is nobody runs in your family, right? So when you look at a Venn diagram, you guys know what a Venn diagram is? You got genetics here in the first circle. The second circle, you got environment. And the third circle, you have lifestyle. So much studies saying that your lifestyle turns on or off certain genes. So when they come in and say, well, I have this cancer gene in my family, I'm going to get cancer. No, that's not what the research says. The research says your lifestyle and your environment, right? Your environment, you have some control, some you can't, right? If there's toxic relationships, toxins, or mold, you have some control. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Genetics, no control. Lifestyle, 100% control. And this is where, again, you lean in and you say, hey, there's something called epigenetics. And your lifestyle can turn on and off certain genes. Healthy is normal. The second principle is the body is smart. The body is so smart. Give me an example how the body is smart. Any examples? It's self-healing. So when you get a cut, do you even have to think about that? Right? Sometimes we have to stop and think because we're so used to it. When we get a cut, we're like, well, all right, put a Band-Aid or whatever on it, or maybe not. We don't have to think about it. The body is so incredibly smart. We got to stop treating like it's stupid. Treating like it's stupid is when an alarm comes on in our body, we go and pop a pill. The body is so incredibly smart, right? And the body can heal itself. Here, another example of the body is smart is when you have a broken bone. Did you even have to, if it's not sticking out of your leg, it's going to heal itself, right? And for you mothers, when the baby was born and placed on your chest, what did the baby do? Right? Well, breathe, but yeah, try to eat. How does that baby know where that food source is? The baby starts inching and trying to look for that food source. And based on that baby's cry, the milk production changes. The body is so incredibly smart. Let's stop treating like it's stupid. Okay? And here's the thing. Here's where chiropractic really comes in. Innate intelligence courses through our master system. So God made this master system that controls everything in our body. What is that master system called? The nervous system. And it's made up of the brain, the spinal cord, and all the nerves. This is where healing happens. Right? So if somebody comes in and says, let's have an example, somebody pulls their hamstring. They're like, how is chiropractic going to help me? Well, you ask, well, what controls that muscle? I don't know. And it always comes back to the nerve. Well, what controls that nervous system? It ends there, guys. It ends there. So it starts and ends at that nervous system. So if we can get that nervous system clear of any interference, that hamstring is going to heal, right? But more importantly, more powerfully, we know it's more than the muscles, right? So here's the thing. If you want to be healthy, you need a healthy what system? And if you want a healthy nervous system, you need a healthy spine. There's the truth. There's the mic drop right there when you're in the room. You know, and these are the questions that you can ask that patient. You want to be healthy, right? You want a strong immune system, right? What controls the immune system? Nervous system. And if you want a healthy nervous system, you need a healthy, boom, just walk out of the room. Drop your pen, walk out of the room. Right? And here's the thing, modern day life is stressful. Right? So somebody could come in and think, okay, well, you adjusted me, I'm good now, right? I've been here 3, 4, 6 months, 1 year, I'm good now. And you say, life is stressful. Right? Life is unnatural. Do you agree? Is life stressful? And you ask them, you know, what's going on in your life? And they'll well, maybe don't ask them because they'll probably take 10 minutes and tell you, right? Life is stressful. Life is unnatural. Guys, we're not meant to sit in a chair on a blue screen all day. We're not meant to do that. We're meant to lie down under a tree, right? Have sun and wind and nature, and then when we get hungry, we run and catch our prey. You know, and not go to the fast food line at McDonald's, right? That's unnatural, and it's stressful. Life is stressful. Life is unnatural. That causes subluxations regularly, and that's why you need to be checked regularly, right? And so there's stress. There's 3 forms of stress that cause subluxation, right? What are the 3 stresses? Right? Traumas, toxins, thoughts, or physical, chemical, emotional. And you gotta lean in here because when they start talking about immune system and COVID and pandemic and vaccines, this is where you say, hey, the body can heal itself. The immune system is strong. What controls that? That nervous system, right? What causes these subluxations that affect the spine that houses and protects the nervous system? Physical, chemical, and emotional stress. So lean in on there. And then here's the thing. Most people come in, hey, I'll ask you docs. What's most people say when they're on the table? When besides, hi, how are you doing, right? What do they complain about? Pain, right? They complain about a pain. And here's the thing. Affirm and address that pain and say, hey, you know, that is concerning. Start palpating the spine. Here's what's really concerning. This subluxation, what does that do to the nerve? And most people will say, yeah, pinch it, right? Here's the question. Where does that nerve go? Any ideas? Maybe they'll know, maybe they don't. You can educate them, right? So if they say to the gut, well, what if 70% of our immune system lies in our gut? How important it is to correct this spine, take pressure off this nerve, so we can have a healthy gut and a healthy immune system. So this is where we can be relevant, where we can focus. And this is our responsibility because nobody else is talking about this. Everybody else is talking about vaccine and pop a pill. This is our influence. And this is where we can change people's lives. And that was really hard for me to say with this chiropractic profession because for me, when I was in school and I heard the word philosophy, it turned me off. I was like, what does philosophy have to do with anything? We're trying to get them better. We're doctors. Right? Where's philosophy come into play? But this is where philosophy comes into play because if they can understand this, if you can switch their paradigm and they can have their aha moment, this can save their lives and really their family and the community, and that's where it starts, and that's where it ends. So then we have to really talk about the bad habits, right? What are their bad habits that promote the subluxation patterns? And there's plenty of bad habits. Seating position, on your phone, right? Processed foods. And this is where we can educate people because they don't know. They don't know. Don't think that we're being confrontational and we're trying to get in a fight with them. These are things they just don't know because they were never taught. And guess whose job it is to teach them? It's us. We're the promoters of health. In this country, we're the promoters of health, the chiropractors. We have to unite and have this message for them. So here's the question I have for you. How do you know if you have high blood pressure? You got to get checked. How do you know if you have high cholesterol? You got to get checked. How do you know if you have subluxation? You got to get checked. 90% of the time, you don't feel any pain or symptom from subluxation. That 90% of the time, you're choking life through those vital organs. And the organs that we can really talk about right now is the gut and the immune system, right? So I want to talk about something called allostasis, right? Because we know what homeostasis is. Anybody know what allostasis is? It's really when your body deals with stress and then has to come back. And that's how it really looks like. So if this is rest and healing, resiliency, and this is normal, right? This is, we're dealing with these stresses and it comes right back. So there's first phase, second phase, and third phase. So what happens is the first phase, if you're stressed and it gets stuck in this first phase, what usually happens is, you start sweating a little bit, right? You get a little tight in here, tight in the neck, tight in the low back, pain. Anybody have those? Well, it's because in our Paleolithic days, what happens is if we're about to fight a tiger, right, your jaw would clench up. Why? If tiger breaks your jaw, you don't talk, you don't eat. Big problem, right? Your neck and your back tighten up. Why is that? Well, if the tiger grabs that neck, grabs that back, and grabs that spine, you are in a lot of trouble, right? And you sweat, sympathetic goes up. And a lot of people get stuck here. And they say, oh yeah, I got some tightness, aches, and pains, right? Because their body hasn't come back to allostasis, normal, healthy, resilient. What happens in the second phase when they come? That's when usually they get blood work, and they have these bad blood results, right? All these blood panel results, right? And then the third is, unfortunately, that's when people come in with cancer and lupus and all these other diseases. Are you guys seeing that? If we can get our bodies back to rest, healing, resiliency, nothing can touch us there. We're getting stuck here. And what can we do as chiropractors to get them back? Adjust the spine, but also address lifestyle. So I'll tell you my story. 2019 May, got married. I was like in the best shape of my life. May or December, just recently, 2019, I woke up one morning and I was just, what happened was that the first 4 months I had a whole staff. I had to turn over a complete new staff in the end of 2019, and I was just really just grinding and training. So I wake up December, and I just remember I'm just sweating, just fatigued. I literally sleep all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I'll be good. Working out 6 times a week, eating perfectly, morning ritual, night ritual, had all that. And something was terribly wrong, right? So, for about 2 weeks, trying to work it out myself, and I just said, all right, something's wrong. So I go get blood work, and I kid you not, I had 35 blood panels that were out of range. I was diagnosed with heart disease, metabolic acidosis, and something called hemochromatosis, which is a genetic disorder where you just have way too much iron. And I went to Vivian, and she helped out a lot. And can I say Vivian is just a tremendous, amazing healer. And you guys have no idea what you guys have in Vivian. I go to Vivian, a lot of my other chiropractor friends, functional medicine doctors, and I go to my medical doctor friend. And what did he do? What did he want to do? Yeah, I mean, bless his heart. I mean, that's all he knows. He said, all right, let's get you on a heart medication. I went to a cardiologist. They did all the work. They're like, no, but we don't see anything major in you. But let's get you on an antidepressant, anti-anxiety. Right? Antidepressant, anti-anxiety, heart medication. Maybe we'll look into the hemochromatosis medication. I was like, whoa. And the principles, and I had to stop, and the principles that I just shared with you are the same principles that got me through. And that was a crazy time for me. That was a very painful, scary time for me with just a lot of different symptoms. And I had to lean in on those principles. Here's the fact. A lot of these patients that went through what I went through, they're still probably shivering and scared and dark in their dark closet and just pumping themselves with medication because nobody told them this. Nobody leaned in. And these are probably patients that have been in our office. Right? So what happened even 4 weeks later? I just leaned right in. The body's a self-healing organism. Right? I leaned in. Healthy is normal. I did stuff that I never thought I was going to do. I started grounding. I always thought that was so hippie, right? Walking in your bare feet. I was doing all these things just naturally. 4 weeks later, I say, do the blood lab again. They're like, no, it's too soon. I'm like, yeah, just do it. What do you think happened? All clear. All clear. And they're like, no, there's no way that this could happen. What drugs did you take? I'm like, no drugs. I got adjusted, right? I went right back. Morning ritual, night ritual, circadian rhythm, sleep, the things I talked about. Stayed away from different processed stuff, right? I just really leaned in even more than I was doing. So I just wanted to just end with saying, if you focus on where you have influence, that will grow. And then we have a responsibility to do that. Thanks, everybody.